I'll just give a quick intro on myself. So I graduated dental school about a year ago, and I absolutely hated it. I thought school was fucking stupid for a long time. I was like, dude, like there's no amount of individual attention that can actually make me into who I want to be. And so I kind of stumbled through my classes and I went and created a bunch of organizations and I went into dental school and all these people were stressing about these exams and I was like, you'll be fine. And then, I got through dental school and then in dental school, I created a bunch of organizations. I was a part of some community organizations that help paint like murals and do all these like projects for local community members and like clean up trash around the streets. I was in North Philadelphia in Temple, and it seemed like these powerful people didn't connect the dots in how to connect with community and how to use their power to actually lift people up in the most appropriate way. And it battled with my conception of what it means to be a leader and what it means to be a doctor, because doctor in Latin means teacher. I don't know if you knew this, but doctor in Latin means teacher. So it would behoove someone to learn the communication skills, to learn what it means to be in a profession, how to teach other people. And no one has taught me any of that. I've had to learn that myself. And in fact, school in general will teach you more often how to be a sheep and an employee than an actual leader, because leaders are difficult to manage. They tend to have opinions and they tend to have values and morals and all these other difficult things that don't fit into the status quo. So what I wanted to teach you guys today in particular is first and foremost probably that most of the things that you've been taught about how society works are going to change as you get more and more educated. First and foremost, becoming a dentist does not mean you're one of the richest people in the world. Perhaps in a per capita way it does. But if you're looking for actual freedom in life, you should be thinking about assets. You should be thinking about cash flow. You should be thinking about taxes and companies and partnerships. All of these things that actually make people powerful. Instead of being a W-2 employee for like 60 years and expecting your Social Security and your 401k and all of that stuff to pay for your life. That financial knowledge, I know you love your parents. I know, I get it. They probably don't know, okay? It happens. It happens. They're human. So I want you guys to get out of this seminar the things that I did to help me break through, become a practice owner, to become a leader that actually gets things done, and hopefully to get your own conception of what is required to have a sense of purpose in life. Something that will move you, that will excite you to wake up in the morning and to actually take a hold of your hours, your 24-hour chunk, how to use that to become the most you possible. So the first strategy that I will go into, and I'll pause for questions probably intermittently, just so you guys can dwell on things for a little while. But the first thing that I would say is you should constantly be learning. Learning. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of my classmates, right, top students, valedictorians, whatever the dictorian shit is, right? Great at school. Guess what? Life doesn't have a syllabus. Life does not have a syllabus. There is no one after you get out of school that will be like, oh yes, knock down this, and you will be wherever you want to be in life. You got to figure that out yourself. And the earlier you start doing that, and the earlier you start taking advantage of the infinite resources that are available to you on the web, the freer you're going to be, financially and opportunity-wise. And probably mate-wise too. You'll actually get with people that you want to be around. So the first thing is knowledge above money. Knowledge above money. Simple concept. Difficult for those that perhaps have grown up poor. Here's the thing. If you learn that your number one asset in life is your brain, is this noodle right here, you are actually going to surpass people in a lot of ways that they don't even see coming. All those people that are like, yo, I'm going to go and read these books and do this stuff, you're going to learn real quick that dental school is just about inhaling question answers and exhaling test questions. Okay? They're going to be like, dude, I'm teaching you all this stuff. I swear you're going to need to know oral pathology, like the back of your hand, and you're going to spend like a lot of months hitting your head against it, and then it's going to have nothing to do with your dental practice. And that's the case with 95% of the classes that you're taking right now. Okay? And again, by all means, if you feel awkward with your face, you can mute your face. I won't be upset. What's up, Farhan? So the first thing is knowledge above money. Knowledge above money. So how do you get knowledge? How do you get knowledge? As it turns out, some of the smartest people in society put their knowledge down in books. Really good books, like Atomic Habits by James Clear. The very thing that can help form your days, okay? Like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The thing that, in general, will make you understand what an asset is, will make you understand why it's so very necessary to network, to gain a multitude of experiences, okay? Books in general that are spiritually derived, right? Some of you might be religious, some of you might have read the Bible, some of you might be Muslim, okay? Or Judaic, I don't know all the terms, but these books, they have these stories, these allegories that have been around in human history for thousands of years for a reason, right? In my opinion, a sense of spirituality is actually a sense of connectedness with everything else around you. I think it's a fundamental aspect of being a leader in society, but also being someone that is driven to do something that is not prescribed. There must be a sense of serenity, some sort of peace that you get in life. So learning in a spiritual sense, that's very important. So financial, spiritual, and habits, the ability to craft your life, right? These are the fundamental points that if I was your age or if I was in college and graduate school, that I'd be prioritizing. Because as it turns out, these things are going to serve you exponentially throughout life. In fact, when you come across people that are incredibly successful, that have spent a lot of time thinking about how to make money, they're going to be thinking about these three things. Some of the people that are making billions of dollars on the planet often are incredible philanthropists. And a lot of people misjudge them as people that are selfish, that are people that are incredibly hedonistic, people that are evil in some capacity. But I'll tell you something quite simple. And I've told this to Farhan many times. I've also told this to many people that I mentor. Poor people, if you're after money, poor people spend money. Poor people spend money. Middle class people save money. Rich people invest money. What does that mean, invest? It means delayed fucking gratification. Investment means delayed gratification, and you best get used to that real quick, okay? But it turns out the ones that are above them all, the eagles in the mountains, they give their money away. And let me make that very clear to you. Giving is the best way to get wealthy. You might think to yourself, hey man, woman, I'm just going to sit here and be selfish in my knowledge, in my acquisition of goods, resources, opportunities, but you'll live a very lonely life. And so I want you to get into that mindset quickly, because guess what? That word money can be interchanged by a bunch of different things. Okay? You can interchange money with laughing, okay, with positive emotions. You can interchange money with opportunities. You can interchange money with a philosophy, giving philosophies away, right? So that is a fundamental aspect that I want you to capture when you're trying to go and learn things. To be wealthy is to have abundance in life. The 4 core values in my business and anything that I conduct are quite simple. And those of you that received this invitation today probably saw these. It's consistency, execution, service, and abundance. As it turns out, service leads to abundance. But what does abundance mean? Abundance comes from a philosophy of nature. If you've ever gone into the woods and you've ever gone and looked at a valley or even a patch of land that's been left alone for a little while, you will realize how much crazy shit is going on there just by paying attention for a second. Okay? There's a bunch of these interactions going on. There's like food available for all these creatures. for some reason, I mean, you could pick up literally a handful of soil and you could have millions of microbes, billions of microbes in your hand. Right? You scale down or you zoom out, abundance is a part of nature. And as it turns out, I know they want you to forget, you're a part of nature too. Okay? You're a part of nature too. So if you want to tap into that infinite life force, start thinking about life like life does, with abundance. Give your shit away. Present opportunities to people. Okay? So, having knowledge above money, super, super important. Most of the billionaires that are worth their shit have actually lost most of their money. They've lost all of their money at some point. They've gone bankrupt. And guess what? They come back even stronger. Why is that? Because they're noodle. They trained this enough to know how to make money. Okay? And that, whether or not you like it, is probably half the reason that you're going into dentistry. Okay? So I wanted to clarify that real quick. Now, the other part of why you're going into dentistry is probably service. To some capacity, you care about other human beings. And the degree to which you care probably comes down to the amount of hardship that you went through in your life. I had an inkling a long time ago that the darkest moments of someone's life, the deepest, the most painful moments, the most traumatic moments of someone's life actually formulate the heights that someone is capable of reaching. Now, for those of you that are in this audience that want to really achieve incredible things in life, that want to blow people's conceptions of what it means to be alive out of the water, you've probably been through some shit already. Okay? Whether it's tremendous amounts of loss, whether it's a lack of love in some capacity, whether it is a lack of opportunities, maybe it's someone suppressing you, whatever it is, right? That trauma often occurs below the age of 8 years old. You might be thinking, whoa, that took a turn. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to purpose in life, I have a very simple equation. And this is something that I'll probably, hopefully have the chance to talk to you each individually about. But purpose is actually something that we are born with, in my opinion. It's something, it's the way that we innately look at the world. And below the age of 8 years old, we're still pretty genuine, right? We have some influences here and there with our families. We have things in our environment that we like to do, but for the most part, we still cackle like children. I mean, we still run around and do stupid shit. You know, we look at things and we enjoy them for what they are. We say it how it is. You got some young cousins or kids or whatever, like they're gonna tell you what they feel. Okay, so we lose that at some point. We turn into these reflections of our environment. We turn into these reflections of what we think is true, and then we get to college and we're like, oh, this is how life is. And then you realize everyone that taught you this is how life is also stuck to this is how life is. And guess what? Most of the people that are making drastic changes in society realize that the reason people look at life in those containers is because they are afraid of what they're capable of becoming. I'll say that again. You may very well be afraid of what you are capable of becoming. I know I have been for a lot of years. And I know that is why I often hurt myself, or I took myself away from opportunities, or I belittled myself. I don't want you to do that. I want you to free yourself. I want you to actually give a shit about your moments and your interactions, your opportunities, okay? So we talked about knowledge over money, A. We talked about wealth, okay? And we talked about giving, okay? So let me break down some of the tools that I've used to help become a better human being. Something that I think is going to affect you tremendously. One of my role models, who is dead now, is Jim Rohn. He is Tony Robbins' mentor. And you might be like, if you know Tony Robbins, you're like, oh, I see where you come from, Turab. Tony Robbins' mentor, Jim Rohn, had this ability, and if you have a chance right now, if you're kind of zoning out, go to YouTube or go to Instagram and look up Jim Rohn, Jimrohn. You hear this guy talk, and he will inspire you because he just loves communicating in such a way. But he said something really beautiful, and I think it's something that we should all try to enact in some way if we're looking for genuine freedom in our life. He said, listen, if you work hard at your career, you'll be fine. If you work harder on yourself than you do your career, you'll be super fine. If you work harder on yourself than you do on your career, you'll be wealthy. If you work harder on yourself than you do your career, you'll have freedom. And most people forget this in their pursuit of education. And then they look at business people and entrepreneurs like they're some sort of evil people. Where I think it actually just comes from this innate jealousy for freedom. Okay? When it comes down to it, if we work hard on ourselves, if we are 10 times better of a human being, 10 times more useful, dependable, productive, happy, genuine, loyal, inspired, if we are 10 times more consistent, imagine what we can do for every single person we touch in our lives. Imagine what we can do for our parents, or our younger siblings, or our cousins, or that person that you know has that thing inside of them, but they just need to see. They just need to see something else, and then they can become something else. Imagine what we could do for the world if we become that way. That's why I made this internship. That's why I made this network. Because I think humanity is slacking. Okay, and I think leaders in particular have not been given great role models. I think we've been taught the wrong shit. Okay? So, how do I get to the place where I am more disciplined? And what is the benefit of such a thing? You must love yourself, my friend. As it turns out, you know all the shitty things about yourself. You know all the reasons that you procrastinate. You know all the reasons that you don't treat people well. You know all the reasons that you've gotten into shitty situations, right? But you also know all the reasons that you're awesome to hang out with. All the reasons why you're a unique individual, right? So that's love. That's like, it's the balance, right? I want you to love yourself more, because then you probably have the capacity to love other people more. So how do you do that? Data. Data is how you love yourself more. Numbers are a part of nature too, as it turns out. So how do you give yourself the data to say that, hey Turab, you said you were going to do this shit, and you did it. Okay, that's pretty good. Hey Turab, you said you were going to do this shit 10 times, and you did it. That's some good data, right? At the end of the day, that's all you got, right? Imagine if you have a good friend that says, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and without fail, they say, damn, dude, excuse. Are you going to respect that friend's capacity to do what they say? Probably not. Right? Imagine you have a friend that says, oh my goodness, I'm going to go run a marathon. And then they say this and they fail. But at least they tried. Are you going to respect that friend for showing up at that marathon? Probably. Do that for yourself. For God's sake, do that for yourself. Okay? Set that initiative. Not always, and I'm not saying always get into a situation where you do what you say. I'm not saying be a slave to your words, because sometimes in life that is not the thing to do. Sometimes in life you say the wrong thing and you should not follow through with it. Let me be very clear. But when you feel something inside of you, when your intuition says, listen, this is something that I have to do, go do it out of love for yourself. Literally. So you have enough data. Okay, that is the art of consistency. That's the spiritual aspect of consistency that I think a lot of leaders miss out on. Okay? So, how do you build consistency? Read a book. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I couldn't break it down any more simply. If I could, I would probably have a PowerPoint presentation. Okay? Or go to ChatGPT and be like, hey, give me a summary of Atomic Habits, and I'll give you all of the shit that you need to know to build your habits. Habit stacking is phenomenal, right? How do I do 7 meetings a day on top of being a dentist and then also have 2 businesses? Because I stack my habits. Right? I'm like, okay, I get home, I work out, and then I eat. Okay, done. Okay? On Thursdays, I do inventory. On Friday, I go grocery shopping. And on Saturday, I go and meal prep. Done. right? So many of us have excuses for the simple shit in life. Don't be that person. If Isabel was here, I'd drill. I talked mad shit to Isabel earlier, but you know, dude, like we're in a first world country, right? I have this term for myself. My alter ego is Batman. My alter ego is fucking Batman. And if you think that's crazy, Beyonce has an alter ego. Jay-Z has an alter ego. You understand? Eminem has an alter ego. What is it? The Mamba. All of the people that have done real shit in this life have an alter ego. So you might think to yourself, why are you doing that? Because the successful people did that, man. And so what does Batman stand for me? Batman for me is someone that does what needs to be done. That says what needs to be said. Okay? Batman for me is someone that is so incredibly internally powerful that they can persist where other people with superpowers fail. Okay? So when I say, hey, I don't get cold, I don't get hot, I'm not hungry, I'm not tired, that to me is Batman training. That makes me more Batman. Okay? And the reason that I want to do that is because, listen, there's a chance that something bad might happen in the world. We might lose electricity. We might not have warm water. Okay? We ideally might put ourselves in situations where we have a lack of things so that we have a way to be thankful. I want to be able to deal with that. And I think more people, especially leaders, need to get to a state where they stop complaining so much and stop allowing their emotions to actually impact their actions. Right? There's time to be emotional and to love and to care, but most of the time, you really just need to be logical. And kind of the thing that I was talking about earlier, the vision, the purpose in life. A lot of pursuing that is a logical pursuit. Once you get through the emotions of why you want to do something, when you have enough good reasons, logic is the only thing that's going to carry you through. Logic is the only thing that's going to tell you, dude, I got to wake up at this time, otherwise I can't go to the gym. You understand? There is a tremendous amount of power in being able to switch off your emotional side, to stop getting so angry about people in your life, to stop trifling about the little things. Okay? So I say to you, learn. Knowledge above money. I say to you, make sure that you have a sense of spirituality, something in your life that connects you to the bigger picture with nature in general. I say to you, have an alter ego. Have aspirations of being someone phenomenal, someone exceptional in this life. Because why not? Okay? And in the pursuit of becoming a better human being, let me give you some other tidbits. If you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll probably get to you in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So, other things that I've done to make sure that I turn out to be Batman is accountability. Accountability. The reason that I put this network together, the reason that I go and talk to people like Zachary Thornton, my business partner, the reason that I'm going to a mastermind at Cardone Ventures is I want people that push me. I want people in my life that push me, that say, hey, Turab, you said you wanted this in life. Where are you at with that? Okay, accountability is key. Having people in your life, for instance, you suck at reading books. Dude, I suck at reading books. I made a book club, selfishly. I was like, okay, every week and a half, we're going to read 100 and some pages, and we're going to meet at 9 p.m. on Wednesdays. Why did I do that? Because I know I'm a wretched human being. I know that I suck. But in the context of other people, I might actually get through this thing. Use other people. Accountability is key. And on that same note, there was a story. And one of these actors, I think the guy that played one of the fighters in one of these movies, he said his uncle told him a story about a man, about a flood in their town. There was a huge flood in their town. And there was a story of this guy that drowned in the flood because his leg got caught. And this guy's uncle, he said to him, dude, I wouldn't have drowned. And he's like, how would you not have drowned? Uncle said, I would have chopped my leg off. I would not have drowned because I would have chopped my leg off. That is a metaphor, if you didn't catch it. Okay? There are things in our life that are quite bad for us. There are people in our life that are quite bad for us. The ability to surgically remove those things is your ability to love yourself. That's really fucking hard to do. Okay? I get it. But that, stacked with accountability, stacked with that data thing I was talking about, you're going to start moving. I said to my interns earlier in the summer, I said, listen, on social media, however many followers you have, or the people things that you are following, your environment is key. That's actually a thing in Atomic Habits too. The formation of your environment, the people that you talk to, you are a combination of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. It's true. Your friends are the walls and the roof of your house, metaphorically. It's true. So you best choose to spend your time with people that you actually want to be like. Listen, I had some really good friends in college, man. You know, at least I thought. Their loyalty wavered. Their aspirations in life wavered. And I also had this incredible luxury of moving around a lot in life. And I realized, like, they don't even call. They don't care. You know, it's like we live in these bubbles, you understand? These bubbles of time. Okay? In college, in graduate school right now, you're in a bubble of time. Okay? Your vision is the only thing that will allow you to step out of that bubble while you exist in it. Craft a vision that allows you to see the various bubbles that you may be in, so that you can choose. You can choose the life that you want, rather than it choosing you, rather than the politicians, the advertisements, the AI, all of that stuff making you into a machine, into a robot. I'm trying to give you the tools to break out of the matrix. You understand? The girl in the red dress. What does that mean? It means the more powerful you get, the more those things that are bad for you that you should be surgically removing, the more those things are going to be tempting to keep into your life. Become stronger. Pursue greatness in your life. Okay. All right. Now, should I keep going? I guess I'll keep going for another five or so minutes, and then I'll open it up for questions for the last 5 or so. Okay. So, we talked about consistency, we talked about cutting things out, we talked about accountability. What other tools have I used to become a better human being? Emotional intelligence is key, okay? Our ability to craft teams that last is our ability to make an organization that actually does something. You are not here alone. You need to understand other people's motivations. So, one of the points is improve your communication skills. Improve the amount that you can put yourself out there, your encouragement, your energy, whatever it is, your vernacular, your ability to move your damn lips. Improve it. And thusly you will become more valuable. Because so many people suck at communicating. So many relationships fall on the wayside because someone didn't have the balls to ask, am I being a good partner? Am I being a good son? Am I being a good husband? Communicate. What do you want? What do you need? To be able to take that feedback and to actually do something with it in life. Okay? We need to improve that. And it's not so hard to do. Right? It's not so hard to do. We just need to open our ears. We just need to listen more. And we need to know that, dude, I don't like being taken for granted. One of my mentors said, being taken for granted in life is one of the worst things that you can possibly do, because it affects every aspect of your life. Being taken for granted will affect every aspect of your life. I say this to you because I was taken for granted for many, many years. And to some degree, I like to be taken for granted. There's that Bill Withers song, if it feels this good getting used, you can just keep on using me. Right? That is a level of love, a level of grace that I believe some of us should fall into in life. But to be able to communicate, hey, this is my boundary and you don't touch this shit, or there are repercussions. Okay? That's important. The ability to communicate, hey, I need this from you. Please. That's important. Or the ability to communicate, hey, I'm useful for XYZ reason. This is why you should have me in your company. Valuable. Remember, people care more about how you make them feel than anything else. We are still emotional creatures. We make stupid decisions all the time. That's why it's so very good to be able to disconnect your emotions and logic. Okay, communication skills. Warren Buffett says you improve your communication skills, you improve your value in your company by 50%. Do it. How do you do it? Talk to a lot of people. Talk to a lot of people. Go and model people that you believe are good communicators. Go and learn what it means to communicate. Ask Vin, AskVinH, on Instagram. Phenomenal. He says your voice is an instrument. Your voice is an instrument. What a beautiful way to look at something that you are stuck with for the rest of your life. Okay, so communication, key. Okay, I got 2 more minutes before I'll stop yapping. What else can I tell you about how to become a better version of you? Oh yes, things that you can also do to improve your communication. Reading, writing, and speaking. Reading, writing, and speaking. If you can improve any of those 3 things consistently in your life, you will become a better communicator. So do it. Keep a journal. Create a list of things that you want to get done tomorrow and check them off just for the sake of checking them off. It feels good. Read the books. I mean, I know AI can read them for you, but like just spend the time to be patient. It's good. It's good for you. Okay. All right. So that's like macro level stuff, right? But you're in school. You're in college. So what? If college is such bullshit, Turab, what can I get out of college, man? I'm here. I'm stuck. What do you want me to do? Okay. First and foremost, realize if you want to be a dentist, do it for you. Don't do it for the money. If you want to be a dentist, do it your way. Okay? If you want to be anything, do it your way. Don't let them be like, yeah, dude, shut up and sit down. Okay? Don't let them do that, because that's not an effective leader. Right? That's not an effective advocate for society. Someone that shuts up and sits down. Okay? School is incredibly valuable for one reason: networking. Okay? All of these people that are in this room right now, and all the various people that will probably watch this recording, and all the people that are around you are around your age group. You are currently in a situation where you will never be again in your life. And people will say this to you, and I didn't understand this when I was in college, but your ability to get to know the most amount of people ever in college, not in like, I'm gonna get drunk and high with these people. Like, you don't do that. Like, partying is kind of stupid, honestly. But just getting to know the most amount of people is going to be incredibly valuable for you, because every single one of these people is going to become an adult and have a job and hopefully be valuable in society in some capacity. Some of these people that you see that are like strangely godlike among your peers are people that you should be friends with, because those people are really they're gonna bust out when it comes to real life, because they realize the syllabuses are bullshit to begin with. Okay? So network, and use your networking as a way to build your communication skills. In particular, I give you access to the Turabify Network. Turab in Arabic means soil. My primary motive in this network is to create a generation of leaders that actually make humanity better. If you want to be that person, come through. Let me help you. And hopefully you understand that every single one of these people, should you know their name or not know their name, is a resource for you, is a way to understand the world a little bit better. And this is one group out of many groups. Okay? So the idea is to build out a network with the universities nationally, to have access to leaders, to have access to people that have ideas, so that we may propel ourselves in the things that we want to do. I was reading a book recently, and someone became a space lawyer. Could you imagine how specific you would have to be in life to be like, and how ballsy you would have to be in life to be like, I'm not only going to become a lawyer, but I'm going to become a lawyer for space. That's the type of vision I want you guys to have. Like, the world is your oyster. You just got to start working now to make sure that you are the person you want to be in 5 years. I digress. My name's Turab. I'm a dentist, a speaker, entrepreneur, investor, artist, and I want to help you. So, any questions, let me know. Open the floor.
I'd like to see if you could go into a little bit more about, getting comfortable, because I know there's some of my peers, or at least some individuals I know, they just tend to, like you say, they wake up, go to the gym, they'll do their meal prep, they'll hang out with their girlfriend, and that's it. What can they do to kind of push themselves a little bit?
I think exposure, and thank you for the question, Zach. I think exposure to new ideas is super, super important in life. And that's why I encourage just like picking up habits that we're kind of uncomfortable with in the beginning, like reading or going out and like being a part of a club, just to go and see what's out there. And social media in general is a phenomenal place to get new ideas, not just whack off or deaden your brain. Like, there's actually some phenomenal free information on the web, and people are doing some crazy shit. So the only excuse for not having not wanting more in life is literally not doing the work to go and find more. Like, create opportunities for yourself. So you kind of have to like break out of that by virtue of doing something that's out of the norm of your friend group or out of the norm of what you're used to doing.
Yeah, it's a good response. Is there any way you can go like more in depth on maybe say you have maybe a couple goals, etc., but you just can't just get a grasp on like a daily tug on them, but they're there and you're like somewhat slightly motivated. I mean, you could pick up a book, but like how do you like push forward?
So accountability again. Like, nowadays I don't really start shit until I tell a bunch of people that I'm starting shit, because then those same people are gonna be like, Turab, you said you're gonna start shit. Did you do it? And in the back of my head, I'm gonna be like, I told 10 people I was gonna do this shit. I should probably do it. I literally picked this up from One Piece. Monkey D. Luffy runs around telling people he's gonna be the king of the pirates. It's like, yeah, bro, let's see. The other thing is a constant reminder of your goal. Dude, setting a goal that really inspires you and moves you is one thing. But constantly hammering on that goal and being like, yo, this shit, I want to get there. That is the only way that you're going to be like, okay, all right, stop doing this thing. You know it's not working, okay? The ability to really analyze you as a person from a third person perspective and to see what you're doing and be like, does this align with the person that I'm trying to be? One of my mentors, and I'm just going to go off on a slight tangent, but it's going to be useful. One of my mentors said to me, Turab, where do you want to be in life? And I was like, oh, I want to go and help a bunch of people. I want to go around, solve like world issues and stuff. He's like, Turab, stop. You're there now. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, you cannot live your life assuming that you will be there later. You have to have a sense of urgency. You are there now. And then he made me imagine what it felt like. Who would I be around? How would I feel? And he's like, now that you feel this thing, guess what? You're fucked. Because now you can never unfeel this thing. Now this thing will drag you and push you every step of the way. So I strongly recommend having some time to sit down and really just fantasizing about where you want to be in life, who you want to be, how you want to feel. Like that's going to push you more than anything else. It's an emotional game. Logic gets you there, emotion starts it off.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure, my friend. Farhan, what's up, dude?
How you doing?
Chilling, man. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
A little.
My AirPods make me sound like I'm underwater.
They do. But now you
Hear
don't
now?
sound like underwater. Very good.
Is it better now?
It is better.
Awesome. I just wanted to ask, what if there was one skill set or one thing that you would like highlight, that you would say is like the most imperative to not just success within this network and this internship, but just in general? What would you say, and why?
The single most important thing that you could do in this internship.
Obviously, like they're all very important.
No, I get it.
Your skill set.
I get it.
But
I'm kind of stuck between two, and there's a bit of a cheat answer, but my intuition tells me communication. Your ability to communicate is fucking essential, dude. Like we're human beings, right? Like we develop these incredibly complex systems just to communicate. Going out there and saying hi to some strangers and talking about ideas, like I said before, telling a bunch of random people the things that you want to do, that's your ability to communicate, right? You do that like, oh, I'm gonna go and change the world. It's like, okay, you know, if you do that like, I'm gonna go fucking change the world, okay? This is going to happen, right? Your ability to put that out there, fucking key, okay? Your ability to build pipelines, key. I know I PTSD'd you guys during the summer with that, but key. Communicate. Bedside manner. You guys want to be dentists. If you can't ask someone, hey, can I put you back in the chair? You're probably fucked. Okay? If you can't ask someone, hey, are you okay today? Hey, you look a little tired. How's your day been? How's your week been? Hey, my name is Dr. Whatever. You can't do that, dude. No one's going to come back to you or recommend you as a dentist. Communication. Key. The other thing that I'm half split with, the thing that pissed me off so much that I was like, you know what, I'm going to spend my entire life inspiring people, was a lack of individual responsibility, man. A lack of individual responsibility. And what does that really just come down to? A lack of execution. The amount of leaders I've seen in my life that have said all this shit and then not done it because of excuses. And dude, I'm that person. I used to be that person. Because I just didn't care enough. I was like, I'm gonna do all this stuff and sacrifice nothing. That's not how that works. You can only do all this stuff if you're willing to sacrifice something. Either something about yourself, that leg in that metaphor, whatever it is, do the shit. Get it done. Execute. So that you can feel better. So you have the data to be like, dude, I'm actually cool. I like being around myself. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you.
Yep. Zach, do you have another question or?
Is my hamster up?
Yeah, it's okay. No worries.
My bad, man.
No, you're good. Anyone else have something? Something they're dying to ask this strange man that showed up on this webinar.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's up, Antonio?
What's up?
Chilling, man.
When I joined the call, you were talking about, emotions and how they kind of control your mind in some way. And my question to you would be, if you were in a state of like heightened emotion, whether that be good or bad or whatever, and it's kind of like blinding you or pulling you away from like what you actually want to do in that moment, whether it be like heightened anxiety or heightened sadness or even just like boredom, like what would you do to kind of clear that out so you get that clear mind again, so you can focus back on what your goal is?
Thank you for the question, man. Appreciate it. Listen, so I lost my dad when I was 9 years old, and it was a lot of times like, dude, people don't get it. You know, like not living with our dad. Like people don't get it. It's weird. You know. And so I've found myself a lot of times in life, like sometimes, dude, shit just hits you, and you gotta sit there and think about it, you know, and just like take it in. Like, you fall in love and your heart gets broken. Guess what? You gotta sit there and take it in, okay? Um, like your parents think you're a piece of shit. You gotta sit there and take it in, you know. Like there's times in life where you totally have to dwell on your stuff, and that's where the spiritual aspect comes in too, and that's why I advocate for everyone. Like, dude, there's a renowned psychiatrist in England that I know and I respect tremendously. He says you should spend 15 minutes a day meditating on your life, and meditation doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and just like close my eyes and shit. Meditation means just like being in the flow state of giving a shit about how you feel. Like, you have to do that. In Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, he talks about this thing, letting out your inner darkness. Right? He says a lot of us like have all this pent up shit in our life, and we don't spend the time to be like, dude, I gotta do this thing to let this out. Like, let it out. If you got like Tourette's for like 10 seconds, it's better than having a catastrophic failure later on in your life. You understand? Like, there's definitely states where you have to be like, I need to get this out. I need to go to sleep. I need to take care of my body. Like, do that, because that's loving yourself, straight up. Now, you brought up boredom. Boredom, the only cure to boredom is action. The only cure to boredom is action. Like, boredom to me, and having and those like different like things in life that happen that you gotta like really sort out a little bit. Right, I call it. You have to compost, right? You have to like let it sit there and ruminate for a while, and then like get to conclusions. That takes time. Boredom ain't that, dude. Boredom is a lack of direction in life, and the only way to solve that is action. The only way to solve that is to get off your ass and go and do something. And I say go do anything. All right, Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you guys like him. I think he's incredibly motivational. Jordan Peterson says, if you're unsure of where to go in life, fucking go. If you're unsure of where you want to go. Instead of sitting here. Because the reason is, if you've moved from here to here, and you're looking at this spot right here on the screen, guess what? You got a different perspective from over here. So you actually have more data than you had when you were just sitting here. Right? A lot of people are like, I'm not sure if I want to be a dentist. Okay, are you sure of anything else? No, then go be a fucking dentist. Okay? So boredom and that other thing in life that's like, it like hit you hard, and like, you know, those are two very different things. Okay? And vision boarding is super, super key. Like, you got to sit down and write this stuff out. Remember, communication with yourself, even. Reading, writing, speaking. Okay? Hopefully that answers something. Anyone else got anything? What's up, Spence?
So, let me see if I can switch this around. So, if you were to take a risk, what are the 3 signs that you know when it's right to take it?
What are the 3 signs to know when taking a risk is right? The first and foremost sign is your intuition, right? If you're emotionally connected, like deeply emotionally connected to something, just go shoot your shot, you know? Like if your intuition's like, dude, if I don't do this, I'm going to have an issue, like internally, right? Go do the thing. Because the worst that can happen is you're going to fail and you'll get smarter. That's not an issue. That's a fucking godsend, okay? If you can go and just do something. And the reality is, dude, risk is everywhere, okay? Not doing anything is the riskiest thing that you can do, right? Not investing in that company, not investing in that relationship, not going out and investing in that, your time in that event, right? That's riskier than going. because then you're just here. Like I
Right.
said, your perspective is you're not changing anything. Like you're not getting any better.
Right.
So I say, like, don't the people that are smarter than me and more successful than me, they say, take risk when your entire heart says go do it. And I fully advocate for your intuition in life, because no one's gonna live your life the way that you do. So like, just go and do it. Especially when you're young, your 20s, dude. It's all about risk, because the worst that can happen is you're gonna fuck up. You're not gonna like die. You're gonna fuck up, and then like you'll figure it out. You got like 20 more years to figure it out. So like, do the stuff. Just do it. That's do it in a calculated way too. Like I'm a strategist a lot, you know, and sometimes you don't know a cancer when you see it, right? But then you can poke at it and you can like take little risks in between and be like, okay, if I cut this off for X amount of time, how do I feel? Like pose experiments, you know? Like you can, I'm a big advocate for when a big change is coming in life, right? To set myself up mentally for what that change is going to feel like. And a lot of people are like, why are you doing that? Well, that's so sad. It's like, because I want to know, dude. I want to like take risks, but also be genuinely most of the time right about the risks that I take.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know? Okay. I'm gonna go with Olivia's question. If you have another one, I'll hop on, okay? Olivia, what's up?
I had a question, so I was wondering how to surround yourself with the right people.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. How do you know if you surround yourself with the right people?
I always say surround yourself with people that feel like sunshine. I always say surround yourself with people that are positive, optimistic people. Like like that friend group that I lost in college, right? I was surrounded by a lot of people that did like a lot of passive bullying to feel better about like one another. They did a lot of like, Turab, you just have these outlandish claims about life, dude. All of the successful people in life, right? You're gonna have some ridiculous idea, and they're gonna be like, "Go for it, dude. Go for it, dude." Like, yeah, that's a great idea. Unless it's just a stupid idea. I mean, don't surround yourself with like naive people, but like people that are like people that really have the energy that you want to have in life, right? Like I was watching, and by the way, let me just put you onto some game. If you got the email, 10X Studios, 10. I think this is the wrong 10, but X Studios, power players. Okay, this is literally billionaires talking about life. Okay, free. They say I don't want to surround myself with people that are just with me and my posse. I want to surround myself with people that push me. Right, so that friend that makes you uncomfortable about being chubby, okay, but does it in like a nice way, is like gives you an opportunity to go and work out with them. Or that friend that's like, dude, let's go on like a little adventure or something. Not like let's like trip balls and like, you know, be in the middle of a city or something. You know, someone that's like rationally taking adventures in a sense. Okay, like always surround yourself with people that you want to be like, people that push you, people that are optimistic. You know, that's really what makes the difference in my life. Does that answer your question, Olivia?
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Spence, what do you got, boss?
Oh man, I left my thing on. Dude, I don't know. I left it on, but let's see if I can come up with something.
Oh, you don't have to, dude. We can. I mean, you know.
I mean, well, we got 4 minutes, so until somebody comes on, I got.
Yeah.
Let me see what I.
You guys got 4 minutes, okay? Before Spence comes up with a question, go ahead.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Yeah, dude, I got a lot of questions for y'all, and honestly, I'll have to answer them individually, because this is not a setting where I want to like break open in your personal shit. You know, I'm definitely gonna be like, schedule a meeting, let's get into it, and then I'll have a lot of questions for you. I mean, just ask Zach.
Okay, how about this? What if everyone in the chat before we leave says something productive they did today?
I love it. All right, what? Go ahead, Spence. You start it off.
So I woke up, cleaned, knocked out homework, and took care of some other errands that I'm not gonna be able to do when I work tomorrow. So, knocking out some homework right now and relaxing.
Okay, dude, that sounds pretty good. I got some questions, but so does Braden. Braden, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you ask your question. Go ahead.
That's perfect.
Okay, I'm sorry if you like already have mentioned it. Like, what do you do to get back on to track if you had like an interference and you lost track of what you wanted? What do you do to get back onto the right track?
I remember that larger goal again. Like the first thing, so in you guys will learn this in dental school. It's called motivational interviewing, right? There's pre-contemplation, there's contemplation, there's a change, there's like action, whatever. These three things: the pre-contemplation, the contemplation, and the actual decision to make a change. Those are the things that most people forget. That's the philosophy behind why you're changing or getting back on the horse. So a lot of people will just like go back into the action and stumble into it, which is really smart. But oftentimes the only motivation that will get you to muster and to get back on the horse is to re-rationalize why it's even useful being on the horse. Right? And that should take you about like 10 minutes of actual thinking. So I advocate for action and forging ahead, but I also advocate for always setting aside the time to have a legit goal that you actually believe in and making sure that everything that you're working towards is actually connecting to that bigger goal. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. Zach, something productive you did today?
Something productive I did today. There's a lot of things, but one of the things I like to share is what you do when you first get up, right? And when you first wake up, you want to get up and not look at your phone because your brain is still waking up and you don't want to skip it right to the alert stage yet. But you want to make your bed, and this is something that